Welcome everybody to Panfish Nation. Along with Mark, I'm Lyle. I'm Mark. We are honored to have Kim Burnett join us tonight. We're going to talk about jig fishing for bluegill and all kinds of panfish and stuff. And Kim, he does a lot of fly fishing on his own, but he knows how to catch them on jigs, stuff like that. Been doing it for a long time, haven't you, Kim?
Oh yeah,
So we're going
I'm
to get to
actually a
that.
jig fisherman first. I fly fish second. People think I just fly fish, but I'm addicted to jig fishing for crappie.
Well, I don't know, and we'll get to introducing everybody here in just a second, Mark. But if anybody has watched Thai Pig Patrol's channel, he had a new video that come out today. Caught some absolute giant bluegill on jigs in a private pond. Him and his dad was fishing
yeah,
this pond, and
you know,
evidently he was tipping them with some type of worm because he had a worm box with him and he had worm dust or mud all over his fingers, where he was doing it. But he caught some, I'm going to guess, pound plus bluegill out of this pond. They was just absolutely slobs. And he was walking around the edge of the bank doing it. So anybody that hasn't checked that out, we don't have an affiliation with Ty at all, other than the fact that he's a great guy and he catches a lot of big fish. And he's got a really good YouTube channel. But them was some. He goes down to Lake Havasu and catches some giant bluegill. But these, I think, was up in Nebraska somewhere. He didn't say that, but that's where his dad lives. His dad was in there on a kayak. So I'm assuming that's where that. But they would just,
yeah.
if you get a chance, go check it out. You'll like it. But uh, I'll get to my question here in just a minute. Mark, let's go ahead and get everybody introduced.
Just so everybody in chat knows, that's Thai Pig Patrol, not Pig Patrol TV. Thai's,
Yeah, Ty.
they used to be partners a while back, and Thai had to move to Texas for work, so they both kept the Pig Patrol name because they didn't break up for any bad reason or nothing. They just
Yeah, and they still fish together.
they still fish together. They're still friends.
It's
And man, Ty really likes big panfish. He have absolutely, he catches some monster fish otherwise, but he always comes back to those big panfish. So
Yep,
I don't blame
I don't either.
him. Smart guy.
Yep.
all right, so I'm going to say hello to everybody. What's going on, everybody? I see two stands fishing in the house. There's Chester Wyatt. How you doing, Chester? What's going on, my friend? There's Chris Everett, Miss Chrissy Brown. She's a member. Thank you for your support, Chrissy. There's Mom. What's up, Cindy Stokes? How you doing, young lady? Double Hook Angling. Hope you're starting to feel a little better on the road to recovery, Dave. Dave was a great guest. Make sure you check out his channel. I know he's getting close to 500 subs, if I remember correctly. We definitely want to help him out. So if one of the mods could share out Dave's link, would be greatly appreciated. Also, we're trying to get Uncle Lou to 500 subs. So if you guys feel if you guys are feeling it, make sure you share out the link. Make sure you're subbed already. Hopefully everybody here already is. There's Fishing Freedom. What's going on, Richard? How you doing, buddy? I see my friend fishing with Squirrel. There's Rhonda over at Fishing for Whiskers. Freddie Outdoors Adventures looked awfully dapper today on the bait shop, I must say. There's Dee. Get hooked on Dee Fishing. She is a crew member as well. There's my Illinois buddy, Jacob Hagney. That's it. Sorry about that, Jacob. Lance, I'm a crew guy. Hopefully your King Salmon search is doing great. How you doing, look, lady? There's crew member, or there's channel member Mike Irvin. There's Paul Boyd from P&B Catfishing. Troy, Real and Virtual Outdoors crew member. Make sure you guys check out Troy's channel. He does his online fishing. We want to make sure we support him. There's Super Dave 336 mod extraordinaire. There's my buddy Frank over at Twisted Fishing TV. There's crew member Matt at Want to Be Outdoors. What's up, brother? And there is Real Gals Fishing. Ooh, God's truck. What's up, dear? How you doing? Keith N. WPA Fishing in the house. Chris Everett, I think, just popped in here. We're getting a bunch of people popping in. Hopefully, I'm not missing anybody. I'm scrolling through the list again. Freddie, I said hello. Jacob. Oh, there's Joe Buck 66. He's a channel member. Thank you for your support, Joe Buck. He's always in all the shows. He's a great dude. I like Joe a lot. And I think I got everybody on the list, Lyle. If you see anybody, I'm sure you'll shout them out. So hello, everybody.
Did you get Carolina Real Screamers?
I did not. What's going on, Carolina Real Screamers? How you doing? And Ricky Slow Text Adventures just popped up too.
And Stephanie, Real Gals Fish.
That's right. God's truck.
Yep.
Okay. I'm good. I think we're good. Kim, you and I haven't known each other for years and years and years, like a lot of guys that I talk to and interview and have on shows and stuff. But we've known each other for a pretty good amount of time here recently.
Yep.
And I know you to become a great fly rod fisherman, but I also know that you've been doing the jig stuff for a lot longer. And you tie an enormous amount of jigs for people.
Oh yeah.
And my
Mhm.
question is, are most of them for bluegill type fishing or other stuff?
A mixture of both. I do both. I mean, I tie a lot of crappie jigs for fishermen all over the country, but I do a lot of flies too. A whole lot of flies.
Are you still? I know that you're still doing seminars and things out at events around your area, around the Kansas City area, and in Kansas because I know you live in Kansas. But do you travel and do any of that stuff anymore?
Yep, I still do some seminars. I did the Open Season Expo here this year. I did a few at Emporia State University. I teach at their aquatic education center they just built a couple years ago. Oh, another place in Clinton, Missouri.
That's
I
not that
did
far from me. We was supposed to get together the last time you was
yeah,
down there, and it didn't happen.
no.
One of the things that I wanted to mention here is you and a good friend of mine, James Dockery, do a lot of things. Well, not a lot of things, but you do some things similar to what the other one does. And James is a big proponent of helping kids get things going in the outdoor world, and I know that you do that also. And I want to let you know how important that is, and we're so proud of you for doing that because you and James and Sonny Parker, and I know there's others, but those are the three that come up right off the top of my head really quick that go out and do things to help promote the outdoor sports to our youth, and that right there takes precedence for a lot of people over everything else that gets going.
It does. I'm not out there. I could be out there chasing checks for crappie tournaments, but somebody has to train the future, man. And if we don't get these kids involved, how are we gonna keep it going?
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a very noble cause. We appreciate it.
And
Appreciate
somebody took the time when I was young. I went fishing with all my uncles and whoever would take me, my dad, my mom, whoever would take me. And somebody took the time with me, so now it's time to give back, man.
That's awesome, and we commend you for doing that because if somebody doesn't teach these kids about the outdoors and fishing and hunting and all of the shooting sports and fishing sports and all the stuff, then they're all gonna be sitting around like this all the time. That's all they're gonna know how to do.
Yeah, on them phones.
That's right. That's
So
right.
we're trying to get them off them laptops and phones, and we're trying to reintroduce families back into the outdoors and do stuff as families because they don't happen anymore. Everybody's in their own little space, got their own little technology piece of crap,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
You know, Danny
When I was
Ransom told me something when I was talking to him a while back. He said if a kid has a fishing pole in their hand, they can't have their phone in their hand.
Nope.
it makes a lot of sense.
Makes a lot of sense. And I want to thank Stan for starting out the super chats tonight. We appreciate you, Stan. He says,
Thank you, Stan.
tonight. And hello, Van, and hello, Ricky Slow Text Adventures. What's going on?
Man, I'm gonna have to message you tomorrow or the next day.
And Mike Irvin in the house, crew member. How you doing, Mike?
Van's just being mean to me.
I think he just likes you a lot, Lyle.
He's a cool dude, man.
And Anthony
He is.
over at Medic for Outdoors. How you doing, Anthony?
So, Kim, can you tell us a little bit what you got going on through the fall this year?
I'm just filling orders, man, and fishing whenever I get a chance. That's a few. Well, I got a lot of festivals. This is the festival season. I do a few shows in the fall. A couple of festivals. I like Wellsville Days. And I used to do Old Settlers here.
Did you say Wellsville?
Yeah, Wellsville, Kansas. They have.
Oh, Kansas. I was Wellsville, Missouri, too.
Yeah, so I do a few festivals and I fish and tie jigs and fly.
Are
I
you going to
mainly
be
tie
doing?
more jigs in the fall and
Are
winter.
you going to be doing anything down close to Truman or Lake Ozark or behind my way this year?
As
this
soon as
fall?
my buddy calls me, man, he's been having issues with his dad, so we hadn't got to fish together because his dad lives in Colorado. So
Okay.
trying to get his dad squared away. Then I'll probably be fishing down there for too long.
Well, I'm working on putting the flotation back in the back of my boat. So as soon as it's done, I'll give you a shout.
Yeah, I can be there in an hour and 45 minutes.
Well, you know where Buffalo is, and I just drive up the road and meet you somewhere up there,
Yeah.
and we go from there. All right, Mark, what do you got for Kim tonight?
Kim, I just want to make sure Matt shared out the link to Crappie Stopper Jigs. If you guys want to get a hold of Kim, have him tie up some jigs. He does them to order, correct, Kim?
Yes, sir.
He'll tie whatever color if it's in his if he's got the stuff to do it, he'll set you up. He's got a lot of cool stuff. I'm really looking forward to getting some of those house flies that he ties all the time. I need to get on those. I just need to pick some other colors and stuff. So
And his link is in the description below.
it is. And also I do want to blame Kim for getting me started in fly fishing. I'm almost there. I'm almost ready to go out and do my first trip, and it's all on him and Lyle probably just as
Not me.
equally. No,
Nah.
yeah, you.
Now, if you don't catch any, that's pilot error. Ain't got nothing to do with
That's right.
I'm still going to call and complain, so be ready for that call. You guys know I'm not one to give up, so if there's a chance, I'll figure it out. It might take me a year or two, but I'll get there.
Oh, yeah.
It's not hard.
That's
Little
like anything in
practice.
fishing. You just got to keep at it, and you'll be successful. You'll figure it out. Just mind
right.
what you're doing. That's the way I kind of go about it. So
That's exactly right. It's this summer for me. It's been water conditions because we either had too much, where it was running trees down where I like to fish and tearing up bridges and things, or when it went down so low that you can't get to any place that's good to fish. So
Nope.
back to the topic of getting the kids involved in fishing and hunting and stuff. What's the best way of going about getting involved in something like that? Me and my wife, we don't have kids, so it's not like I can meet the kids at school or whatever. I have no idea where to get started, but it's definitely something that I'm interested in.
You have to go to, like, if you want to start kids programs, you have to go to your local wildlife department. They're usually willing to help do anything that you want to do with kids. And they got a lot of resources that people don't know about. And that's what I work with Fishing's Future. And we're teamed up with Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks. And we teach their, it's hard to say, youth aquatic education. It's hard to say. But that's what we do for them. And they give us all the stuff that we need to put on our clinics with children.
Okay.
And
So
we have
that
sponsors.
would be like through the DNR, right? Maybe on a website or something. Look, I'll definitely be checking that out. See if we can't squeeze some of that in there. Maybe get some kids involved. I get the kids in the neighborhood. They're always wanting to go fishing with me and stuff. But the problem is you go back to their parents and say, hey, when are we going to take your kids fishing? And that's been the biggest obstacle, at least on the super local level, being up and down the block here. So maybe getting involved through the DNR, I can get more involved that way. So
yeah, and they're willing to help. That's what they want to do. They want to teach kids to fish, you know.
So how many kids typically come see you for these classes?
Oh, anywhere from 5 to 100.
Yeah, I saw one where you guys had a whole boatload of kids out there on the bank that you were teaching.
Yeah, it just depends. Last time we was in Emporia, which was about 3 weeks ago. It was for the Spanish families. We had 75 families. We gave each family 2 rods and a tackle box full of goodies. We sent them through all our stations. We taught them kayaking and boater education, knot tying, how to rig your rod and reel. We just teach them the basics of fishing, just enough to get them started, you know. Show them how to rig, show them how to cast. Then we send them fishing once they go through all our stations.
Yeah, I know that James Dockery was collecting tackle and stuff, and he'd see a kid out on the bank and just give him a bag of tackle, whether it was a Ziploc bag or something. I know he really liked doing that. So maybe even at that level, I could get involved to do something like that, or even send Dockery some stuff. I've been meaning to send him some bass stuff I have in the garage. I just need to be remembered to do that. Hey, Betty, how you doing, dear?
And we do a second cast program at Bass Pro Shops. You know, when people trade in their rods and reels, the old ones for the trade in, they can't resell them, so they take them and they reline them and make sure they're all working. They donate them to our organization, and we give away those to families and kids.
That's an excellent idea. I know a lot of creators and stuff on YouTube, when they have giveaways and stuff, they'll give away some of their gear that they're no longer using. Why not give that stuff to some kids? You know, I don't see some kid needing, you know, an 8-foot heavy catfish rod, but if you got some panfish rods laying around or something like that, there's no reason why, you know, a kid can't use a Zepco 33. I gave away.
Exactly.
I gave the kids up and down the block here, which are great kids. I gave away a bunch of Zepco 33 combos that I had in the garage to them, and they really, really got a kick out of that. So,
yeah,
we're grateful to get it too. Put all new line on them and got them set up.
Yep.
So, how'd you get involved in tying jigs and flies?
Oh, I was using, you know, back in the day, all we had were those little squid bodies, you know, little, what they call them, Southern Pro, and all the little squid bodies. And I just got tired of them tearing up all the time after a couple fish. And every time you get a short strike, you got to reel it up, put it back up on the thing. It was just turned to be a lot of work, and I didn't like it. So I thought I'd try to tie my own. And it happened to work out. I learned how to tie.
I think I'm going to have to contact Steve over at Limits and get a bunch more boxes, because fishing gets kind of slow in my part of the country during the winter. So I got a lot of big plans of tying some jigs. We're definitely going to get back on and do those on Saturday nights, right, Lyle?
Yes, we will, and we'll have Kim on there with us a couple of times, because he seems to like coming on there and tying with us. So, I'm not sure that his wife appreciates him tying every night, but she's got to be used to it by now.
We've been married 35 years. We got to figure it out.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way with my wife. I was like, I'm going fishing. She's like, bye.
She don't want to talk to me anyway.
Yeah, I got you beat by quite a bit.
Uh-oh. You're telling on yourself.
46? 46, I think.
I'll never catch you then.
Nope.
Time flies when you're having fun, don't it, Lyle?
That's right.
See, I left you a door to back out of that right there.
I'm gonna tell you how I got into tying flies. It was by coincidence. My wife opened this Bass Pro here in Olathe back when it first opened. She was the credit card manager. So she came home one day and said, "Hey, there's some guys in the back here on Thursday nights and they're tying flies." So she said, "You got to go back there and talk to them." So I came in one day. I went back there, talked to him, and he's like, "Are you interested in tying flies?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Well, we're here every Thursday. Bring your stuff next week, and you can start tying with it." So I went right home, came right back. I stood there. He looked at me like, I said, "I'm ready now. I'm not waiting till next week." So they taught me pretty much everything I know, and I already knew the basics of how to get thread and all materials, and I caught on pretty quick, and the rest is history, man.
It's worked out really well for you. Justin's fishing fetish, Chester Wyatt.
Hey, what's up, Justin? Justin just arrived. I want to give a holler out to Betty Jean. What's going on, Betty? Fish Flex, great appearance on Chad's show. I want to make sure I let you know.
Mr. Gadget.
Oh, is Mr. Gadget in here? What's up, Gadget? How you doing? I think we got everybody. There's Mr. Gadget. And LG Bass showed up too. What's going on, Tom?
But yeah, how much fishing do you get to do with working and tying every night and on weekends and all the other stuff to do? How much actual fishing do you get to do, Kim?
I get to do quite a bit. I get off at 3 o'clock every day. So when the days get long, I'll get off after work, fish for 3 or 4 hours, and come home and work. And I plan to fish every Saturday. So
you evidently have some local places fairly close to you where you don't have to do a lot of driving.
Yep, I fish a lot of county lakes. I fish a lot of little lakes. I fish some big lakes. I got a bunch of friends with ponds, and I just kind of hit them when I can and spread them out.
Would you explain county lakes? What's a county lake?
You got your state lakes and your county lakes. The county, they're owned by the county, so they got different laws. So you got to have another license.
Really?
Yeah, you got to have your state. You can't get the county without the state. So the
Nice.
county, and they're ran by the county people, so they patrol those all day, every day.
Yeah, we have county like forest preserves that have fishing lakes in them or ponds or whatever it is, and they have their own stocking program.
Yeah.
But there's no separate license. There are separate rules, so you want to make sure that you abide by them. Like this morning, I saw some young man. I want to say a kid, like a 22-year-old guy. I know that fishes the river here. He got like $120 fine because he was using 2 poles in a county place where it's only 1 pole limit, Lyle.
Oh yeah.
See, that don't make any sense to me whatsoever.
I agree, but it is.
And again, you got one set of rules in Illinois. We got a set of rules in Missouri. Kim's got a set of rules in Kansas. There's no reason under God's green earth that they can't have 50 states with the same friggin' rules.
They don't, unfortunately.
There's no reason for it not to be that way, though.
Yeah, you definitely have to read those books they give you.
You better, because
every year they try to change a few little things.
All they got to do is change one word a lot of times, and it changed the whole paragraph.
You know what I do is I download the rules and regs for the state of Illinois, and I'm sure you can do that for any state you're in.
Oh, yeah.
When you download them in PDF form, you can use the search function. So every time I go out to a different body of water, I just search on that body, and I get all them rules right then and there. That's the easiest way of going about it. So let's say I'm going to fish, Channel Lake. I'll do a search on Channel Lake, and I'll know that there's no limit on crappie or a bag limit of 15 and so on. This way you don't get caught with your pants down, so to speak.
One of the things that gets me, and Kim, I know he will understand this, is a lot of times you'll go to one lake and the length of fish that, especially crappie, that you can keep is, say, 9 inches. You go to the next one, it's 10. You go to the next one, it's 9. You go to the next one, it's 8. What the hell is up with that? Make it the same everywhere.
That's especially true with panfish and crappie, most definitely. There's always that creel limit for any panfish and size limit for crappie. So you want to make sure you pay attention to that, especially in states like Minnesota. They have lakes up there where there's a limit of 5 if you want to keep them. That's it.
I think the ones that say, if there was a lake between Missouri and Kansas, I would be worried to death if they have them like the regulations like they do out east. A lot of them places out east, the lakes are on border 2 states, and you got 2 sets of rules. If you don't know where that line's at, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you could be in trouble,
especially for catfish bait. There's some definite regulation changes on there from one state to the next, and if you don't know where that line's at, or if your Navionics or whatever program you use are off, it's not their fault it's off.
Nope.
Or if you're throwing a cast net for something, that can really bite you.
Cast net sizes, just the diameter of them from one place to the next can be different. It's amazing how much stuff that you have to know anymore. You never used to have to worry about that. And I'm not saying it's all bad, but it's not all good either.
No.
But anywho, that's a different story. So, what is your main fish to fish for? What do you enjoy?
Crappie and bluegill.
No difference in the amount of which one you'd rather fish for?
Nope. I love crappie fishing. I've been doing it way longer. I've been bluegill fishing, but
I was hoping you'd say bluegill.
Oh, I love bluegill equally.
I know you do.
I'll do either one at any time. It don't matter when, where.
Which one would you rather eat?
I'll eat both.
Okay.
They're both equally good to me. I like bluegill whole, and I like crappie, if they're big, we'll fillet them. But
Richard Gene, the fishing machine, always says where there's bluegill, there are probably crappie and vice versa. So if you get into a bag mixed with both of them, I'm not going to complain, Lyle.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not either. I actually prefer bluegill over crappie, and I know people are going to say, "Oh no, there's something wrong with you." But I would put walleye, and I like walleye, but I would put them a distant third from either one of the top 2.
Me too.
If I'm at a buffet and they're all in front of me, I'm taking some of each, Lyle. I don't care.
I'm gonna take some of each.
Oh yeah, yeah. We ain't gonna miss that.
But bluegill, I love eating them whole.
Me too.
scale them, cut the head off, leave the tails and the fins on, and bread them and fry the whole thing up, and I'm a happy man.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. Just picking it and eating it.
Yeah, especially when they're fresh out the grease. That meat slides right off the bone. You get the flavor from the bone. You can't beat it. I don't care what
No, you can't.
Here's a question for you, Kim. Do you think the fish, all panfish, do you think they taste better coming out of cold water in the wintertime compared to summertime fishing?
Oh, wintertime, hands down the best, no doubt. If you never done it, you don't know, because a lot of southern states don't know what winter crappie are.
No, because they got hot weather all the time.
Yeah, they're used to that warm crappie. But.
Yeah, I'll eat them in the summertime too. But
I love catching them through the ice and just lay them right out there. They freeze right up. They're good to go. You get them home. They're as fresh as they get.
You don't need a live well. You just slap them in the bucket or whatever you do, and they're good to go.
Yeah, they taste as fresh as the snow you lay them on, pretty much. They taste
they're firmer, they're wider, they fillet better, they taste better.
That's correct.
The summer crappie is just mushy. I don't care if you put them on ice; they still got a mushy texture to them when you squeeze them.
So. Yeah, I agree 100%.
I think in the summer, that's the time to keep the 8 and the 9 inchers rather than the big ones. That's kind of my rule of thumb in the summer. Not that I get on a lot of them, but when I get a few, those are the ones I kind of like to keep. And I'll cook them either whole or I'll just cut smaller fillets. But I think that has a lot to do with there being a more ratio of breading to crappie or whatever, to be honest with you. That might have something to do with it too.
But like I said, if you want to catch huge numbers and big crappie and big schools, wintertime's the best time of the year. They school up in big schools, 100 to 300 fish sometimes in one school. And you'll limit out an hour and a half sometimes. Most of the time, 2 hours.
Well, we're talking, since we are coming to that part of the year, when you're targeting them in the winter, let's say bluegills, how are you going about it? What are you using? Because I know they eat more grub type larvae and stuff in the winter. So does that affect how you're fishing for them, what you're using? Can you explain a little of that to us?
No, we just use 1/8 1/4 ounce in the wintertime and drop it straight down on them. They're not scared. They'll eat in the wintertime. People think that they don't want to chase anything, but if you drop it down in front of them, they're going to eat.
I know I'm fortunate enough to have, decent flasher for ice fishing. So you can watch that cat and mouse game. You got to play with them in the winter. And it definitely is that, because they'll stare you right at your jig until you move it away from them and make them kind of, like a jealous girlfriend and make them mad. And they'll sit there and stare at it the whole time and just be mad at it.
And that's why I use marabou, because it sits there and moves on by itself, and it drives them crazy in the wintertime. You can't beat marabou in the wintertime. I don't use them all.
I'm definitely going to try that. What colors do you like in the wintertime? Because I know I have my favorites.
I like pink, pink and white, pink and silver, orange. I use a lot of purple and a chartreuse. Just the same colors you really use all year long. Because they're not really picky. They don't care. They'll eat. I mean, they're willing to eat.
I like red and gold in the winter. Those seem to be my go-to colors.
They'll eat that. Yeah, they'll eat pretty much anything.
I like silver.
They're not picky in the wintertime.
Nope.
There's just too many of them in the school.
They're probably fighting over it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you. We came out of school one time. There was over 300 fish in this one tree, man. We caught 3-man limit in like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Wow.
And big crappie. They weren't little. They're big crappie.
Well, if you get 300 of them, you might as well catch them. Big ones.
Oh, yeah.
You like the bigger ones better than the smaller size?
I eat either one. I don't care. I mean, I'd rather, the small ones are good to eat. If you're going to eat, that's cool to eat. But a lot of the 14, 15s, we throw back sometimes. But we like to keep like 11, 12,
14s and 15s. That makes me jealous. I got a 13-incher last week, and I was all happy. I was a happy clam when I got that sucker. That's pretty for these parts.
Yeah, we catch a lot in 14, 15 inch range.
Are you catching those size fish on small bodies of water or big bodies?
Oh, big reservoirs. We fish the big lakes.
Yeah.
They only fly fish the small lakes and reservoirs, but we're on the lake in the wintertime.
Do you fly fish for crappie?
Yeah, I do it in the springtime.
In the spring?
Yeah.
I imagine, when they're on beds, will they still bite because the flies are ahead of them, or are you sinking them down?
Oh, no, they'll bite on the beds. I mean, you use the leader I'm using is 5 foot, and then I put another 3 or 4 foot leader on there so I can get it down 6, 7 feet.
Okay, so you are sinking them down there. Then.
Yeah, and if I can't get it down, I use this sink tip.
I
Anybody
got
knows?
a message sent to me on Facebook Messenger, and a guy wants to know if you use jigs on a fly rod.
Yes, I use 1/80th ounce jigs. You can actually cast a 1/80th ounce on a fly rod. Anything bigger than that, you ain't able to hook yourself, really, because you can't
Yeah.
control it. It's too heavy.
And
But
what size?
1/80th ounce works
One
very
eight.
well.
What size hook is in a 1/80th size jig?
A 10.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you can use a 12 if you want. Or you can go down to a 1/100th if you want.
I love that idea, but I'll tell you one thing, man. I can't see me tying a hook that small, to be honest with you.
It's not that bad.
No, it's not. But like I said, if they're deeper, I could go down. Like I said, I use these sink tips.
Let me hang on a second. Let me give you a full screen. Okay.
These are called sink tips. And it's just, this is the 12-foot one. You put it on the end of your fly line. Then you put your leader attached to this, your tippet attached to this, and it takes it down. This one sinks 4 inches per second. So it'll go down deep as you want, but it's sinking 4 inches per second.
That's pretty slow sink rate.
Yeah, so it can get down to the bottom. They got heavy ones. They got intermediate sinks. But this one will get down there deep as you want it to go. You just let it sink 4 inches per second. So
Cool.
I'm gonna need another room to store all this stuff, Lyle.
and another thing I use, a lot of people don't use, I use Furo leaders.
You use what?
A Furo leader?
Fewer leader.
Yeah, these are called Furo leaders.
Now, what's the difference between those and the normal leaders?
These are made on a jig, and they're thread, and you can't break them.
Oh,
I don't care how hard you pull on them, you can't break them. And they have a tippet ring in them for your leader. So you hook this to your fly line. It's got a loop on it, and you loop it to your fly line. So this is 5 foot. Then you put your tippet on here on the tippet ring. There's a little tippet ring on there. And this is what you use. So when you get hooked up, hung up, when you break it, this won't break. Your leader will break. So all you got to do is tie another piece of tippet. And these things last forever. I mean, 3 or 4 years before you'll have to change it. And these are nice.
One of the things that I get asked a lot, Kim, is why do you want to put all that stuff on, or doesn't that all them loop to loop things, doesn't that cause you issues going through your guides? And really, it does not.
No, because you got to pull your fly line out anyway. If you don't
That's
pull
right.
your fly
It's
lines
already
out, you're
out.
not going to be able to cast it anyway.
That's exactly right. And a lot of people don't understand that, but it doesn't make any difference. And if you're having problems with tippets, if you broke the loop, that's another question I get. A lot of people say, well, the loop broke, or I had to cut it off to do this or that. Then just use a nail knot and attach it back up on there.
can you use like a surgeon's loop as well? It's a pretty simple knot to tie. That's what I use on my flathead rigs.
You mean to this?
Yeah. Well, yeah, to tie any of that stuff together. Let's say you did have something other than that.
Unless you tear something up, you won't need to. They're loop to loop.
Okay.
Yeah, you just loop to loop, and I put a perfection loop in it. And that's how you loop to loop. You do a perfection loop, then you loop your fly line if there's no loop in it. Then you do another perfection loop, then you loop the loop. It works just fine.
Yeah, it'll go through them guides, but there's a lot of room in them guides on most fly rods.
Oh yeah, and you're not getting down in there. You got, like I said, you got to have the fly line
Yeah,
out.
it's got to be pulled out. That's right.
Cast, so you're not worried about it getting caught.
If you guys have any questions for Kim, you better get them up there, and if you
But I'm
put them up
telling
there
you,
and we missed them,
this is
go
what
ahead
you
and
need.
put them up there again because
Because bluegill fishing is a lot of combat fishing, a lot of grass behind you, a lot of trees. You're gonna get hooked in this. They're gonna take you in the vegetation, and you're fishing with light lines, so you're gonna have to pull them free sometimes. And if you, like I said, if it breaks, you're still gonna have that. You just have to tie another piece of leader, and that's it. And you're back fishing.
A lot of my bluegill ponds and stuff that I love to fish out here, they're surrounded with, whether it's just weeds, but mostly cattails. So I'm kind of just trying to figure out where I'd even start at a couple of spots. It's just so bad, but it would be definitely I need to videotape the first time I go out, Lyle. That's gonna
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you getting cattail stem, you can hang it up. You ain't getting it back.
The first time you go out, you need to make sure you got plenty of room with nobody around you.
And another thing, you don't need tippet for what? If you're fishing lakes and ponds, you don't need tippet. You're not trout fishing. You don't need no tapered leader. You don't need none of that. All you need, this is what I use right here. It's the used to be Mr. Crappie, but now it's Crappie Max. And I use the camo line where it kind of disappears in the water still. I use 4 pounds. So this is what I catch all the bass on, all the blue.
Is it mono or is that a float? That's a mono?
Yeah, it's mono, just 4 pounds. You don't need to tip it, none of that, because you're fishing lakes and ponds. They're stained. So what do you need a trout leader for? That's way fine and that's going to break.
And bluegill aren't really line sensitive, so you could probably use whatever you have, right?
Yeah, that's all I use.
The Bass Pro XL line.
Yeah.
It works perfect for that.
Yeah, tip it. You're just going to go through it because it's so thin, you're going to break it. So you get hung up in the brush, you get hung up in the moss, the weeds, and try to pull it, it's going to break.
Yeah, and buy plenty of them house flies because you're going to lose some of them when you first start out. You're just going to.
Yeah, it's combat fishing, man.
That's right. And Kim will sell you 100 or so of them if you want them.
Yeah, if you need them, I got them.
See what he does to me, Kim? See what he does to me? Thank goodness my wife is upstairs. If she heard this, she'd go to Missouri and talk to him.
But I'll take these 180s and I'll put a strike indicator and throw it out there and just bring it back over the pile or wherever they're sitting, man. That's another way of doing it because they fall pretty fast.
Strike indicator. That's a fancy word for bobber, right?
Oh yeah, it's trout snob for bobber. I sent Lyle some. He has some.
Yeah, I've got one. Travis Young wants to know where do you get the Fury leaders?
You can order them online. I got a friend that makes these. You can order them online.
Does Limits have them?
No.
Okay.
These are strictly for trout fishing.
I bet you he'd get them if you're looking for them.
They come in 9, 5. I use the 5-foot leaders. But just type in Fury leaders and they'll pop up. Somebody's selling them. They're not cheap. Some of them are $9 to $12, but they'll last you for 2 or 3 years.
There's a strike indicator.
Yep, and I'll take the jig, a little small jig, and I'll put it below that and cast it out there on the fly rod and figure 8 strip it back.
Whoop, I dropped a piece of it. But it unscrews, and you just run your line underneath the little washer thing, and then you tighten it back down.
Never to be found again now that you dropped it, Lyle.
We'll see that. You might be right about that, though.
Been there, done that.
I'll find it. Not a big deal, but these are real nice. They don't weigh nothing. I mean, nothing.
And they can hold up a pretty big jig. They'll hold up a 32-ounce jig. Fish hit them, they just disappear. Boom. What's that?
You was telling me about them. I had you send me some. I don't remember how many you sent me. 4 or 5?
Yeah, they're like $3 a piece.
Yeah, they're
not cheap, but
I wanted them.
But they work pretty well.
These do work really good.
And they disappear quick. When they hit them, they disappear.
Yeah, they're gone. I've got some other ones that just little like orange floats that you can pick up at Walmart that are about this long, half inch, 3/4 of an inch, something like that. They don't work near as good as these. When you got to put a peg in them, they just don't work as good as these.
Yeah, and then you got to peg them. Yeah.
Yep. And I've used all kinds of stuff over the years. These is as nice a ones as I've found. I don't know if you can buy them online or not. Kim was good enough to get me some because he was trying to explain to me, and I'd never seen him before, and I just had him get them to me and paid him, and he sent them to me, and I like them a lot.
Yep.
Piece of yarn, yeah, Stan. You can use a piece of yarn. Works good.
Yeah, I got the other stuff too. The little wool that you use.
Yep.
You slide it on there. That's a lot of work too. There.
It is.
I'm going to need a bigger garage.
Just buy a bigger house.
Right next to you. Right next to Mansion de la Stokes.
My garage is consumed with fishing stuff, and so's my shed out back.
Mine too.
Thank you, Chadwick.
What about fly fishing out of a boat? Is that something that you can do?
Yeah, I do it all
Yeah.
the time in the spring.
I think that might be an easier alternative than really. Our banks are so overgrown around here that it would really be kind of difficult to
We catch wiper, white bass. We catch carp. We've got catfish.
carp.
Everything
Looks
on fly.
fun. I've seen one gentleman here that he just uses a little piece of foam that he puts a little strawberry oil on, and he gets them like when they're spawning right on the top, floats them by there, and he'll hook into a 4 or 5 pounder. Man, that looks like a fun fight when he hooks into one of them.
Oh yeah, it's fun
Carp are
fishing.
fighters, anyhow.
Yeah,
We used to tie these up. I'm gonna show you this. We used to tie these up for wiper back in the day. This is old, but
hey, it works. Doesn't look any much different than what they use now.
yeah, it's just like old shad imitation. But you know, when they're pushing the bait fishing to the top, and you just cast into where they're surfacing. Man, they just tear these up. They think they're a big shad.
Yeah, I also want to catch a northern pike on a fly rod. That's another one of my goals. So I think that'd be fun.
Well, they fight pretty good, so that'd be a lot of fun.
Do you tie any streamers or anything like that?
Yeah,
You do.
I can tie anything, man. I can tie. Clousers are probably the best all around for
Overall,
bass and walleye,
Yeah.
white bass and wiper. I even downsize them to mini clousers for crappie.
What is a clouser? I have no idea what it is.
Oh, let me see if I got them.
I'm new to this. I got lots of questions.
that's the only way you find out is to ask them.
I don't know if I got any in my box. But clouser it's got barbell eyes. And you tie some bucktail. And it's just a minnow imitation.
Okay.
And they work really well. My big box is in my truck. I don't have any here.
Don has a question. He says, Lyle, have you thought about getting a bunch to tie on live stream? We've done that for a while, and we're going to get back to doing that during the winter, Don. So
Yeah.
Stay tuned now that you're obviously a channel member, and hopefully you got that bell rung. If you're not, please subscribe, ring that bell notification, and give us a thumbs up. Keep an eye out. It usually pops up on Saturday nights when we're hanging out in the winter when fishing's a little slower for us. So.
Yeah, and we're kind of ain't got nothing else to do.
Tell them I'm gonna tie these jigs up while we talking so I can get these.
There you go. We're gonna leave you on the. We'll leave you on the full stream. So people.
I can talk and tie. So
yeah.
Any question?
Kim's got orders to fill in. If you want to place some orders and make them even busier, how can they get up?
Thanks. CrappieStopperJigs.com. It's my website. Instagram is Crappie Stopper Jigs and Flies. Facebook is Kim Burnett. And I got another one, Crappie Stopper Jigs. And I got another page, Kansas Crappie and Hand Tie.
How about your TikTok?
And my TikTok is at Crappie Stopper Jigs.
I didn't know that Kansas was yours too.
Yeah, Kansas Crappie and Hand Tie is mine.
Yeah, I'm a member of it anyhow. So.
And you can also see Kim every Wednesday night on that case Crappie Catching live stream, correct?
Yep.
And before that, he's tying live on Facebook.
Yep. At 7:00 every Wednesday.
I always like to pop in there and check you out, give you a holler, and see what you got up.
I don't.
So what are you tying there, Kim?
This is a bluegill. It's called bold gill with a sunfish body with an orange tail. Looks like a little bluegill.
That'll catch anything.
Pretty much. Nothing like watching somebody work.
Well, these are what I use. 180. Some people, I don't know why they use the 130 seconds, but 180 is getting right inside their mouth, just perfect when you set the hook, and your hookup ratio is a lot better. And some people like those 132 second ounces. I don't know why they use them.
I think a lot of that, Kim, is because the those sizes are easier to find than the 1/80th.
And I think they're afraid of the bluegill's going to swallow it.
Well, that
I'm
could
always
be
worried
true.
about that, definitely.
But if you pay attention to your line that first tick, set the hook. That's all you got to do. If you're bobber fishing, yeah, you're going to let them bop, 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 bop. Yeah, they're going to swallow. But when you're fly fishing, you watch that line jump. As soon as you see that jump, because you look at all my pictures, you see most of them right in the mouth, right outside the mouth. You got to be a line watcher.
Ricky over at Solotex Adventures wants to know, Kim, do you still fish lakes around Dallas, Fort Worth area? And which is your favorite lake to fish?
I'm in Kansas.
Yeah, that's SK. That's out in that direction, isn't
Yeah,
he?
a lot of people think I live in Texas because I'm on the show, but I'm in Kansas.
Yeah, and SK, he lives in Houston. He used to
Yeah, he
work
lives
up
in
in the Dallas
Houston.
Fort Worth area, though. I
Steve
think.
lives in Dallas, Fort Worth, and LBG's in Houston.
Everett Duncan says, Kim, what up, fam?
No, it's my cousin.
Oh, what's going
What's
on,
up?
cousin?
What's up,
There's
Eric?
Slick. Slick made it in chat.
Matt says, Kim makes a mean shad jig. Made one yesterday to show me with blue hackle.
Oh yeah, I made one for him. I'll show it to you.
Slick, another great modder over on SK Show, says,
Absolutely.
what's going on today? Hello, all. How you doing, Slick? Stan says he loves the slower sink rates.
Yep.
That's what I tied. Matt wanted me to tie that. It's a gray ghost with the blue ice tail with a crystal flash in it.
Nice.
That'll work.
Very nice. I like gray jigs too. I think they look more like shad than a lot of the other colors.
Yeah, and people like want all gray, but if you put like chartreuse with that, man, I had a lot of crappie on gray and chartreuse.
Hmm.
A whole lot.
Orange works good with it too.
Yeah.
White.
You just have to experiment.
Yeah. Yeah. And just build. Never tie up just one. Always tie 3 or 4 of them or a half dozen. If it works, you're a hero.
Right. And some's going to eat it eventually.
That's right.
I think I need to get stocked up on some tying supplies for the winter, Lyle.
Yeah. I know the feeling. But I had a friend of mine send me a bunch through the mail here a while back. And that helped me out a great deal because a lot of these places are still low on supplies.
Oh, they are.
At least the stuff that I'm wanting and needing.
Oh, it's tough.
It is tough, but some of them are getting stuff back in slowly, and I think probably by the end of the year there'll be a lot more of it available. I hope so, anyhow, because Chanel is one of the things that's hardest for me to get in the colors that I like.
Yeah, it is. And a lot of the distributors aren't putting them out, and a lot of the people that are selling ain't getting them. And when they do, they're only getting a half their order.
And that right there sets me on fire.
And
There's no
I'm
reason
on,
for that.
and I'm on top of a lot of their lists. So when they get them, they call me. So I'll let you know when they come in.
There you go. That's what I like. If I order something and they don't have it, that's fine. Tell me how much I can have, and we'll go that way. But don't let me pay you for a whole bunch of it, and then only send me half of it.
And that's what they've been doing. Even thread was hard to get. Thread was hard to get.
Yeah. Well, I got lots of thread, but I won't. They do me that way. They'll only do it to me once.
Yeah.
I won't put up with that. If they can send you a message and say, "Hey, we don't have that much," or "I'll send you what we got," or whatever, and I'd be happy with that. No problem. How many jigs do you tie a day? Jigs or flies, either way.
I tie more jigs this time of year. I would say 4 dozen.
4 dozen?
Yeah, about 2 to 3 hours, 4 dozen.
Seems to me like I see you tie that many up every Wednesday evening.
Yeah, I try to tie 2 dozen every week when I'm on
Is
live.
that what you do? 2 dozen?
In less than an hour. I try to do it less than an hour.
That'd take me 4 hours to do.
Well, when you're sitting there, when you tie as many as Kim ties, and you sit there and he's reading chat, and he's keeping up doing that and keeping up with chat and all the people that's messaging him and stuff while he's doing it too.
Yeah, it's a special talent.
It is. It really is. And people ask me about all the time about tying jigs, and I tell them it's not hard. It's time consuming learning it, and it's not really muscle memory that you have to do, but you have to remember how to tie them all, or you're looking them up every time somebody says, "Well, can you do this one or that one?" And of course, guess you know every one that's ever been made. But how many have you actually designed yourself, Kim?
All my panfish flies are mine,
All your
ex-
panfish flies.
except for the mohair leech. That's a pattern by Rick Zeiger from Lamoni, Iowa. He taught me how to tie. The rest of them I made up myself because that's why you don't see them anywhere because they're mine.
Right. Now, you used to tie in competition.
Yep, I did fly tying competitions for
Do
6
you
years.
still do that?
No, they quit doing them. We used to do them at Cabela's.
They quit doing them. I did not know that.
Yeah, they changed management or something, and I guess they got tired of giving out the money and prizes or something. I don't know what happened, but they quit doing them. So we did a few iron tires. I've been in a couple iron tires. I've won a couple of those. But I've actually won 6 fly tying competitions. Not all first place. I took a few first, couple seconds, couple thirds.
What vice is that again, Kim?
Mine's a Regal.
A
This is
Regal?
the Regal big game here. This ties up to 5/0. So I can tie a 5/0 hook on this one. And I got the medallion for smaller flies.
Richard,
Go ahead.
Richard of Fishing and Freedom would like to know what's the hardest jig for you to tie and the most time consuming.
All the woven jigs take a little more time.
The what one?
The woven jigs take a little more time.
Yeah.
Where you do like the waffle pattern, right?
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's like called a granny weave. That's what they're called. I must have dropped it.
Stan says for dry flies, I love the basic caddis fly. For East Coast, at least hard to beat.
Yeah, caddis is. It's easy and it's very effective. Especially when the mayflies are hatched.
That is for sure. And that's one of the times I hate the most is mayfly time.
Yeah, that's an easy pattern.
Mr. Kitty Whiskers just came in here. Same with Kelly over at the Bullock Experience. Welcome, guys. James Alba, how you doing, bud?
And they tie like bead head pheasant tails. They work good. Any nymph works good for bluegill fish.
We'll try to work on that, Matt. The one of the easiest ways to do that is to get a hold of Steve at Lemons Tackle. He has a starting kit that you can get, and it's got everything that you need to start basics.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good stuff. I don't think Steve really handles anything. If it's not any good, I don't think he'll have it very long.
And it's always a good price too.
He's got a great price. Yeah,
and he'll beat it if you find something cheaper. He'll beat it if he can.
Yeah, it's
most of the time he can.
I need to tell him I found a live scope set up for like $800 and see what he says.
I don't think you believe that.
Yeah, I don't think you believe that either.
Oh, I can't tell him what I paid for mine. Then he probably wouldn't like it.
Well, you live out there by some guys that sell a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what's your favorite way to store jigs, Kim?
Right now, I use I got a bigger two-sided box like these. I
Okay.
got a bigger one with the handle, but this is just somebody else's. I'm filling for them. But I used to have photo cases, big old photo boxes.
Yeah.
Then I'd cut out foam, two mil foam, and
Mm-hmm.
glue it in the bottom of them, and just fill them with jigs. I can hold like 500 jigs in one box.
That's a lot of jigs.
Yeah, back when I was tying for myself, but I ain't been able to do that lately.
So if you get ready to go this weekend, you're gonna have to tie jigs for yourself.
Yeah, a few. If I go crappie fishing, I tie for everybody else except myself. I guess.
Maurice Cason, welcome.
Hey, Maurice. Yeah, D from Get Hooked on D Fishing says, thanks for the tips, Kim. Shopping for line, leaders, etc. for my new fly rod. I'm hoping to fish like Kim if he uses the same stuff. I think that was a flex that she had a new Lyle Stokes fly rod, Lyle.
Turned out pretty nice.
It did. I saw pictures.
Blue and silver, yeah.
There's Alicia over at Hot
Hey,
Mess.
Alicia. Haven't seen you for a while.
But people should get into fly fishing, man. It's a whole nother world. You
And
get addicted.
it's like anything else. You get addicted. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Just like time, you'll get addicted once you start.
Yep, that's right, Slick. If it's not a good product, I don't think you'll handle
Yeah,
it.
I believe that too. I mean, I've got nothing from him that wasn't good and not
Yeah.
delivered. Welcome, Eric. How you doing? I think he's a new member, Eric Pierce. What's going on, Eric?
Glad to see you in chat tonight, sir.
Kim says, our fishing with squirrel. Kim, what size thread do you use for bluegill jigs?
210. I build them all to be durable.
And
you
they
ain't got to
last.
worry about building up the body on a jig. So 210 is fine. When you do flies, you got to use a smaller thread so you don't bulk up the body. So
Well,
all my flies that I tie are on 210 because they're on a size 10 hook. So it's not a real small hook.
Chad needs to start making flies and jigs again. So now D will push him to do it.
I didn't know that Chad tied flies. He's going to start, that's for
He
sure.
will, that's for sure, with D
Yeah,
having a fly rod. James Arthur, thank you so much for joining us in chat. We're glad to have you. Thanks for joining. Big Mike Fishing Chronicles, welcome.
That's another new one. How you doing? Unless that's the same Big Mike that we know. He might have changed his name, but if
Yeah,
not,
maybe.
hey Lyle, you wanted to do a giveaway, correct?
Yeah, I'll do a couple of packages of hand ties.
All right, let me get
I'll
that
just
up
I'll
here
just mix them up.
so people can start entering. Give them
Yeah.
so we change the hashtag every week. This week I went with hashtag jigaway rather than giveaway. Jigaway, get it?
There you go. Yeah.
So enter in jigaway. We're gonna pull both giveaways we're gonna pull out of the same pool, so you just gotta be entered once. And get up and go. Oh, there's Michelle from It's All Mine. Did you know that it's Michelle's birthday on Sunday, Lyle?
Oh, I did not. Happy birthday, Michelle.
Happy birthday.
Happy early birthday, Michelle.
It's a
I don't know if I
blessing.
can get this where you can see it or not, but this one is a hot number.
We will give you the solo screen so you can show that off here, Lyle.
I'll
Yeah,
include some of these. Like I'm on the wrong screen. So
what is that, like a copper?
Yeah, that's been pretty good for bluegill here recently.
There it is. That's perfect shot right there. That looks good.
Lots of jiggle in it. Works real well.
Wiggle, wiggle.
It's hard to get that. Remember all to do that, but
That looks good. I like that.
yeah, it's a hot item right now. And they'll all catch fish, folks. They'll all catch fish.
Yes, it will.
Some catch more fishermen than others, right, Lyle?
You get certain flies or jigs like Kim's housefly. That's an outstanding product there. It catches a ton of fish. But a lot of times, I think you're trying to catch the fisherman. At least from where I sit, I'm trying to tie jigs that catch the attention of the fishermen as much as the fish, because they'll all catch fish. They just will. But some will do a lot better than others.
Yeah.
We're going to give people a few minutes to enter here. In the meantime, maybe I'll give Kim the solo layout again. There you go, Kim. So
Absolutely.
watch what you're doing.
Oh, there's my pliers right there.
So now let's talk about your work area. Is it just a desk in your house, or do you have a whole room that's dedicated to it?
Yeah, I got a whole room, man. I got drawers, and cabinets, and it's a mess. I got 500 poles over there.
Hey, I saw you post that you're going to start selling those crappie stopper hats. I've been wanting one of those. You got to.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some here at the end of this month.
Okay, I'll be watching for them.
You need to make sure you let me know when them come in.
Yeah, they'll look like this. These are the new ones right there.
If you get them in and I don't know about it, you'll be sold out before and then I still won't have one.
I'll tell you what, Kim. You let me know a couple of weeks ahead so I can wear it on one of these shows before Lyle even knows.
No, it's no,
All right.
no.
Get a couple of these done. See what we can give away here.
Hey, JH, you do not have to sit out. We use that giveaway tool that's supplied by StreamYard, so it's fair as can be, and you're welcome to get back in. But you're welcome at the things that happen. Sometimes it just happens, and we just want everybody to be happy. That's all.
Yeah. Sometimes people win twice in one show, but we don't let that happen.
That there ain't nothing you can do about it. And like I say, that giveaway tool is the most fair way. We've done everything, haven't we, Mark, as far as giving away?
Yeah, pretty much. Picking numbers, having people guess stuff.
Yeah, this is the best way.
The wheels seem to break everybody's heart, but
the wheel that we used to do a long time ago on Catfish Weekly, it was a fun deal, and
that was.
Everybody seemed to like it. But there comes a time when you have to move along. That's what happens with us. Kim, do you use loops and stuff much, or do you try to tie stuff where you don't have to do that?
The what?
Loops, where you put. I'm trying to think of the name.
You mean like a dubbing loop?
A doubling loop, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
I try to stay away from that. For some reason, I just don't like doing it. It's not hard.
No, it's not.
I just don't like to do it.
I don't either, really. I don't tie many trap flies anymore. I just tie what I use, for panfish.
Well, see, I'm 30 minutes from Bennett Springs, so it's Big Trout Park.
Oh yeah.
There's Morello's Family Fishing and Crappie Day Fish On. How you guys doing? They're getting in on the giveaway.
Well, wannabe caught trout off the flies that I sent him, so they work. So I ain't gonna worry about
it. I got on a few jigs, on some of the jigs that I got from you. I did pretty good with them this summer, or late spring, I should say.
Yeah.
Orange and silver ones you sent me, or pinkish orange and silver ones. That one was on fire.
Matt says that leech that you're tying right there will get you a bucket full of panfish.
Yeah, this one's on a jig head, so whoever don't fly fish can put this on a jig head. On a bobber and cast it out there and go to town.
I like fishing underneath bobbers. I think it's fun, especially if there's current in the body of water that you're fishing, or if there's a little bit of wind to move it around. I think that's all fun.
All right, I'm going to put the giveaway tool back up here, Lyle.
Okay.
I think. What do you think? Last call for the giveaway?
Yeah, go ahead, because we're going to do another one.
All right, we're gonna let this one rip, and then we'll do another one a few seconds after. If you entered once already, you'll be entered in both of them. Just so you know, if you're not sure, you can always put it in again. It won't count your name twice. So let's let her rip. Alicia over at Hot Mets Fishing says she's addicted to the bobber.
There you go.
Look at that, Eric Pierce. Way to go. He's the winner. Eric, you can contact Lyle Stokes through Facebook, either his Lyle Stokes page or the Panfish Nation page, or you can contact him at catfishweeklytv@gmail.com. Make sure when you contact him, you send him your shipping information, what that you won tonight. Make sure you put the date, and he'll get those right out to you. Right, Lyle?
Yes, sir. And it'd just be an assortment of stuff that I tie up.
Chad over at Fields Water says, someone call Dee and get her off these sites. She's spending all my money. Thanks to Kim fly fishing suggestions.
Well, you're going to have to get you a part-time job, my friend.
That's right.
Someone's I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. All right, we'll give him a minute or two to see if there's anybody else that wants to get entered, and then we'll do the final one. So, and Kim, you're on solo again, just so you know. But
all right, I'm gonna give away 2 of these. I don't know if they can see them. 2 of these, the little collar on there.
Nice.
Give away 2 of these, a little white head, pink
giveaway.
body.
I'm going to enter this one. I know that everybody gets mad when I do that.
These are all 1/80th ounce.
The 1/80th? Yeah,
These are all 1/80th. These are another one. It's the bluegill one.
I like that one. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's a cool looking jig.
Oh, so we're going to have 2 more giveaways then tonight. Do you hear that, folks? You're lucky.
1, 2, 3, 4 more.
4 more.
Give them 2 to each person.
Oh, excellent.
And that's the leech.
Thank you so much, Kim. Yeah, that leech looks bad. I like it.
So 2, 4, 6, 8. We're gonna give away 4. 2-pack.
Nice.
Catch a state record, you gotta mention my name.
That's right. Even if you don't, post a picture and mention your name anyhow.
Hey, it's fair enough. I don't care what you say. And I was just kidding. I'm not going to get entered. So why don't we do the second one? You want to give away your last one then, Lyle?
Yes. Go ahead.
Right. Just for the second start of Lyle Stokes jigs, and then we'll do the other ones for Kim's. Round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. Want to be outdoors. Way to go, Matt. He's won before. He's going to have quite the collection.
Matt, I should have your address, but why don't you shoot it to me again anyhow, and I'll get you some of these right out.
All right. This is for the first set of Kim's jigs. You ready, Lyle?
Yes, sir.
All right. There we go. See who wins these. Who am I going to be jealous of?
Van.
Couldn't happen.
V3 custom.
And how do you want them to contact you?
They can hit me on my email or Facebook, whatever they want to do. Messenger.
What's your email, Kim?
Burnett 1967 at yahoo.com.
Oh my God, 67! You're trying to make me feel really old.
Thank you. Super Dave posted it. See, that's why he is.
Yeah, Super Dave knows my stuff.
So congratulations, Van. I'm jealous. All right, here we go. Here's for the last and final set from Kim. While that email's still up there, might as well get her done.
Two Stan says, does Van even catch fish? Well, he will now.
Travis Young, congratulations, Travis. You two have won a set from Kim. Contact Kim. Let him know your shipping address when you contact him at kburnett1967 at yahoo.com, just like Super Dave has listed on the screen.
2 more. You got 2 more.
Oh, 2 more? You're doing 4 giveaways?
4, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Let's do another one.
I just tied up 8.
We're not giving away multiples, so if you won once, you're not winning again. Sorry, folks. Kelly over at the Bullock Experience.
She was on my live last night.
All right. Kelly, contact Kim with your shipping address at the address on screen, kburnett1967 at yahoo.com, and we will do one more. Maybe we need to have music like SK has next time for these.
Lyle can just sing. Come on, Lyle, hit it.
You ain't gonna like that.
Wait, Eric Pierce, I think you won already. We're going to have to do a redraw on that one, right? Lyle?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he won already. We'll do a redraw on that one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Eric.
Listen to this. Matt says, Lyle, send mine to Super Dave. He does a lot for shows and never enters. Dave, if you will send me, let's see. Yeah, he won mine. Send me your address. I will send them to you and be glad to do it.
All right, now the last and final set of jigs from Kim Burnett is Chat Jock. Contact him at the email address on the screen. Probably the easiest way with your shipping address, and I'm sure Kim will get those out to him at his earliest convenience.
Absolutely.
Congratulations
to all the winners.
All right.
That is a lot of fun doing this.
We'll
and
leave
Kim,
your email.
thank you for that.
Thank you so much. We'll leave your email up there for a few minutes. Make sure you go to Crappie Stoppers. Right,
Don't feel obligated to buy anything. I got plenty of orders to fill.
And more coming every day.
Yeah, more coming.
That's awesome. Kim, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it very much. If there's anything you'd like to talk about before we close out, now is a great time to do that.
Well, I like to encourage everybody to take a kid fishing.
That's awesome.
That's what I want to get across to people. Just take kid fishing. Might change their lives, man.
You know, I think
sure change mine.
Yeah, I think that you're 100% spot on with that. And you don't have to stop with just one for kids. You can take several different ones. You don't have to take them all out at the same time. And if you take out multiple kids fishing and it only changes one's life, it's worth it. And if you get more than one, it's really been worth it.
Yep. I could have got into a lot of things, but I got into fishing.
There you go.
Hey, Eric, I entered in Lyle's address for you. Once again, his email address at the bottom there. It's catfishweeklytv@gmail.com. So,
yep, there you go. Just message me right up and we'll get things. I'll be going to the post office tomorrow. I've already got a list started here. Mark, what you got going on that you need to tell everybody about?
Next Monday, I'm either going to be flathead fishing or I'm going to have a guest that's still unknown yet. I'm kind of in that last 4-week stretch of fishing left in the year. And I think that 40 broke off last night. If I don't chase them, I'm going to be kicking myself. So we're going to fish every chance I can get. So you guys can count on that. I got some guests that I'm thinking of. I got a list of them that we're going to get on the show. And I think we're going to have a good time with all of that. So.
Mr. John Parker, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I understand not chatting. Hope everything's going good with you right now, and we're very happy to have you in chat with us.
Yeah, make sure you sub to Uncle Lou on YouTube. The link's up at the beginning of the chat. Make sure you get all of that, and let's get him up to his 500 so he can share that out. Also, I want to say congratulations to Danny Stone on hitting that 1K. Good job, my friend. I appreciate you. Also, check out past guest Double Hook Angling. We want to help him get to 500 as well. So we'd appreciate it if you guys did all that.
Absolutely. And don't forget Monday night Catfish Weekly, followed by Mark with the Catfish and Crappie podcast. And then next Thursday night, the Chad and Freddie and the bait shop.
Do you think Chad will have another guest next week?
I doubt if he can get another guest after tonight. He'll have one. I don't know. You know, he didn't have many guests for a long time, and now he's starting to get some. He had a great guest tonight. I thought Sean did a really good job, and you know, I was doing stuff and didn't get to get in chat, but I was there. I mean, it's not that I wasn't watching. I just didn't get to do a bunch of typing. But I thought Sean was a great guest, and you know, Chad and Freddie doing really well. So be sure to watch them next Thursday night at 7 Central.
100%.
Kim, thanks again. We appreciate everything you do for us and everybody else. And I know SK appreciates what you do with him. And be sure to check SK's Carpet Catching Adventures out next Wednesday night. Kim is there every Wednesday to help them do what they do. And you will be impressed with what they talk about. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you next week.